All right. Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name's Nicole, and welcome back to our English class. Today, we are starting an important two-part lesson on vocabulary used to express certainty, doubt, and speculation. It's a critical area for success in both IELTS and TOEFL exams. Now, I have decided um, to have this topic be discussed in two sessions so that it would not bombard you with all the information that I will be giving to you. So let's take it easy and not slow, but at a good pace so that we can really grasp the concepts effectively. So we will start the first lesson for the first half for this particular topic. Now, this type of vocabulary, it helps you clearly show how confident or uncertain you are about the statement or idea, which is, an essential skill in academic writing and speaking, whether you are discussing research or making arguments in an essay or analyzing possibilities in a lecture or conversation. These terms, it will help you sound more precise, more analytical, and more persuasive. Because this is such a rich and layered topic, I have decided to really divide the lesson into two sessions. This way, you won't feel overwhelmed and you will have a better chance to kind of like grasp the meaning, the usage, and especially the pronunciation of each word more effectively. In today's first session, we will focus on three areas which you will encounter later. We will look into its simple meanings, how the words are used in the context, its tone, and of course, how to pronounce them properly and naturally. All right, let's begin by sharpening the kind of academic vocabulary that can really boost your score and your confidence in IELTS and TOEFL exams. Let's start immediately with the first set of terms, which is under strong certainty. Now, what do we mean when with strong certainty? So when we express strong certainty, we are communicating that something is completely true with no doubt whatsoever. These expressions are typically used in formal, in academic, or legal, or even scientific contexts where a speaker or writer wants to remove all uncertainty and establish a position as final and, unchallengeable or fully supported by evidence. In TOEFL or IELTS speaking or writing tasks, using this kind of vocabulary helps show a wide range of lexical resource, which is important for achieving a higher score. These words allow you to sound more persuasive, to sound more authoritative, and of course logical, especially in argumentative essays, in problem solution tasks, or when you are just, discussing opinions with confidence and clarity. That is on strong certainty. So the words or terms here included here, they often appear in academic journals or essays, in legal decisions, in scientific arguments, maybe persuasive speeches too, formal reports. Yes, they can also be part of that, or even examinations of evidence or research findings. These expressions are not casual and should be used with care, usually only when you are confident that your claim or statement is well supported. Okay? All right, let's start with the first term, irrefutable. Again, irrefutable, meaning impossible to disprove or absolutely true and impossible to deny. So the word irrefutable is used when a claim or maybe a piece of evidence or fact is so strong, it's so clear and so well supported that it cannot be logically disproved. So there is no valid argument against it. basically. So it is often found in academic or scientific writing, especially when referring to evidence that has been repeatedly tested or verified. In legal or argumentative contexts, calling something irrefutable means you are closing the door to further doubt or contradiction. You can use this word irrefutable when the speaker wants to sound firm, wants to sound factual and final. So three F's: firm, factual, and final. Okay? For example, you have a sentence. There is irrefutable evidence linking the virus to the outbreak. This means the evidence is so strong that no one can reasonably argue against it. That is irrefutable. So we try to use this when making final conclusions in research or essays, or maybe during debates or persuasive arguments to show, just strong confidence, or um, um, it is not. It is also typically used in courtrooms or legal writing when presenting undeniable facts. So when we try to use this, of course, our tone, it should be authoritative. It can be formal or unshakable, or of course, it can be confident and powerful. That is irrefutable. When it comes to pronunciation, irrefutable, there are 5 syllables that make up for it. First is our main stress is on the third syllable, which is few. Again, few, that's the stressed syllable. But let's start with the first syllable, which has a short E vowel sound. Second syllable is a short E vowel sound on its own, following by the stressed syllable few, which has the sound of the letter Y in the middle, which is shown here in the IP transcription as letter J. Alright, let's make that clear because you might get confused if you want to look or to read the IP transcription of the term. So the IPA symbol of the letter Y sound is letter J. Okay, so to clear any confusion, because you might, of course, it is we tend to get confused if that's the kind of symbol this particular letter is. So yes, to avoid any confusions, we start to clear on that. All right, so that's the third syllable, few, and it has a long oo vowel sound. Okay, take note of that. This is the stressed syllable. Following this is ta. Not ta, not totally ta, but ta, ta. It's a schwa sound, as you've noticed. That one, that upside down E, that's the symbol of a schwa sound. Now, what is again a schwa sound? It is a weak, unstressed, relaxed vowel sound. Here, it is a weak and stressed a vowel sound. So we say it is t, t, or like UH, but then there's letter T in the beginning, so t, t. And then bull, that's the last syllable, bull. Still with, soft vowel sound. So we try to combine them together, we get irrefutable. Again, irrefutable. The first syllable, it sounds like ear, but shorter. Few, it sounds like the word FEW, as in a few people. Or then for the last 2 syllables, you might want to keep the last 2 syllables soft. Table, like table, not table. Table. Say it smoothly but firmly. So we get irrefutable. Again, irrefutable. Next term, definitive. Definitive. Final and conclusive. Meaning, final and conclusive. So the final, the most complete, or the most reliable version. That is definitive. It refers to something that is fully settled, fully finalized, or represents the best possible version. So when we call something definitive, we are saying that it leaves no room for doubt, for revision or argument. So this term is common in research, scholarly publications, reference works, and even judgments or rulings. It can describe answers, it can describe books, explanations, or decisions that are considered the best available or the final word on a topic. Say, for example, when we try to use this in a sentence, we can say, this is a definitive biography of the artist. Something like, yeah, something like that. So here you mean it is the most complete and trustworthy version. Okay? In the IELTS or TOEFL, this term is useful for making confident statements, particularly in writing tasks where you need to explain results, consequences, or final ideas. Okay? So we try to use this in writing when concluding or presenting a final position, maybe in research also to describe the most authoritative source or finding, or in as simple as decision making, may it be legal, professional, or scholarly. Pronunciation wise, we try to break them down. There are 4 syllables for definitive. The main stress is the second syllable, fin. So we start with the first syllable, d, which is soft and short, since there's a short e vowel sound here. So d, it's like you're saying the letter D in itself. D, followed by the stressed syllable fin, which has a short e vowel sound. It should be said clearly and slightly longer, the syllable itself, because it is stressed, it is emphasized. Following this is a schwa sound in itself, on its own. Definite. Definite. Yeah. E. And then last syllable is tiv, which, at the end it should be soft with no hard T, and then short E vowel sound, and it ends, of course, with a letter V sound. And as you've noticed in the spelling, there's a letter E at the end, but in the way you pronounce it, there's no letter E, which means that this word has a silent letter E at the end. We do not say it as definitively. We do not say it like that, but we say it as definitive. Again, definitive. All right. That is the second term. Third term, unassailable, meaning strong and impossible to attack or deny. So it is too strong to be challenged or attacked. That is unassailable. It means, again, that something is so well defended, so true, and so respected that no one can reasonably oppose it. It could be a person's reputation, a logical argument, or a factual position. This word comes from the idea of a fortress that cannot be attacked. Metaphorically, an unassailable argument. So that word or that phrase, it is like a fortress of truth. No one can successfully argue against it. So it shows extreme confidence and high quality. In TOEFL or IELTS speaking or writing tasks, you might use it to strengthen your position in an opinion essay or highlight the strength of someone's beliefs or achievement. Okay? All right. Say, for example, in a sentence, her logic was unassailable. Every point was backed by evidence. That is on unassailable. Again, unassailable. Try to use this when you want to express high respect and strong approval, or you want to describe strong arguments or facts in essays or debates, or when defending someone's reputation or credibility. We can use this word, unassailable. When it comes to pronunciation, this word has 5 syllables, unassailable. The main stress is the third syllable, sail, but we start with the first syllable, un, which has, a soft, short, weak vowel sound here. So it sounds like un. Following this is schwa sound, short, weak, and stressed vowel sound. Third syllable is our stressed syllable, sail, which has a clear A diphthong sound. Again, the diphthong sound is A. This one. Again, what is, remember what's a diphthong sound? It is when a vowel sound smoothly glides to another vowel sound. That is a diphthong. Basically, vowel sound plus vowel sound, we get a diphthong. Here, our diphthong is A. Vowel sound E paired with, added with vowel sound E, we get a diphthong A. Okay, in sail. Next is another schwa sound, and it ends with bull. Bull, which has, a short, quick vowel sound also. All in all, we say unassailable. Again, unassailable. One more time, unassailable. All right, that is unassailable. Fourth term, we have beyond doubt. Beyond doubt, meaning certain, not questionable. So you are absolutely certain with no question. That is beyond doubt. Now, it is a phrase, no? Beyond doubt means that something is so clearly true that no one can reasonably disagree. It is a phrase made of two simple words, but together they have a powerful formal meaning. Beyond, the word beyond means further than something. So when something is beyond doubt, it means it is outside the limits of uncertainty. It is often used in both legal and academic settings, especially when referring to facts or findings that are universally accepted or clearly proven. Sorry. Okay. So that is beyond doubt. Okay. This is a great, you know, phrase for IELTS or TOEFL essays when you want to make a point stronger but still sound academic and neutral. So when with that in mind, we can use this in essays to express strong confidence in your evidence, or when you're trying to report proven facts or accepted truths, or when you are just, as simple as emphasizing the clarity or strength of your point. We can use this particular word or phrase or term, which is beyond doubt. All right? Okay, for a moment. Oh no. All right. Okay. To continue, we have the pronunciation of this phrase, beyond doubt. So we try to say them in two parts because there are two words. Let's start with beyond, which has two syllables in it. We stress here on the second syllable yond, but the first syllable is b, beyond. Now B is very simple. There's only a short e vowel sound there, and then the second syllable is yond, which has a short, not short, but a long a vowel sound. Okay, it ends with the consonant cluster, which is a blend of the consonant sounds of the letters N and D. So yond, beyond, again beyond. Next word is doubt, which has only one syllable. So this is a one syllabic word. Now doubt is very simple. Um, it has a silent letter B. It is pronounced like doubt, like DAWT, something like that. If we want to really spell out how it is pronounced, but in the epi transcription, it will look like this. Now, as you can see, there is a clear ow diphthong sound there. So the diphthong is ow. All right. So there's a diphthong sound in there, and again, it has a silent letter B. We do not say doubt, but we say doubt. There's no letter B in the middle. No letter B sound. All right. So this is again beyond doubt. Again, beyond doubt. Now remember, Don't get confused with this. That is the IPA symbol for the letter Y sound. All right. Again, this is beyond doubt. So, lastly, we have unquestionable. The lost term for this head on strong certainty is unquestionable, meaning certain and not doubted. It cannot be questioned, it is completely true. So unquestionable means something is clearly true and should not be doubted. Of course, it is used to describe truths, beliefs, or values that are universally accepted or very strongly supported. It's a strong word often used in formal writings or in politics or public speaking to show that someone's actions, beliefs, or authority is completely reliable. Okay? For IELTS and TOEFL exams, this word is very useful when expressing high confidence in someone's work, in a source of evidence maybe, or commonly accepted idea. That is on unquestionable. When it comes to pronunciation, there are 5 syllables all in all. We start with un. We're familiar with un already, right? In unassailable, the third term in this table. So it's very simple. Again, we use a quick unstressed vowel sound here. Un. Following is quest, which is our stressed syllable. Now, it starts with the consonant cluster because we know that the sound of letter Q, it creates, it is, the sound, it is created from, or it is created by joining these individual sounds of consonants K and W. So it's a consonant blend basically. And then in quest, there's a short E vowel sound, and of course, very noticeable that it ends with a hissing sound or the letter S sound. That's on the second syllable, quest. Following that is unquestioned, chon. Again, chon, which starts with a CH sound or the ch sound, and then still with, still with a schwa sound. Now, the CH sound, this is the symbol of that. All right. Then that particular sound is followed by a schwa sound. So it's quick and stressed, and also, relaxed, weak. Following that is an schwa sound on its own, and it ends with bull. We are very familiar with that already. So all in all, we get unquestionable. Again, unquestionable. And that's the end for that's the end for the first set of terms under strong certainty, which are irrefutable, definitive, unassailable, beyond doubt, and unquestionable. So with that, let me see if you are following with me. Of course, we will have a time to practice. Let's have a short and quick practice drill. Now here, what I want you to do is just very simple. I want you to read the whole sentence with me. Now, this is a sample sentence from the terms that were discussed earlier. The one highlighted in red are the terms. Okay? So I'm just asking you to read the whole sentence with me. While I'm reading, I want you to also read the sentence in your own comfortable spaces there. All right? Okay, let's start. The evidence is irrefutable and clearly supports the hypothesis. The court issued a definitive ruling on the matter. Her logic was unassailable, leaving no room for counter-argument. The link between smoking and lung cancer is beyond doubt. It is unquestionable that climate change is affecting weather patterns. And that is the last term for strong certainty. For a moment. All right. Let's immediately move on to the next set of words, which is under partial or probable certainty. Now, in English, we often need to express that something is likely true or expected to happen, even if we don't have full or final proof. This is where partial or probable certainty comes into use. It refers to expressions or phrases we use when we are almost sure about something, but we still acknowledge a degree of uncertainty. These phrases allow us to make cautious predictions, to present logical conclusions, or comment on situations using evidence or reasoning. They are essential for mature communications, especially in professional, academic, and testing contexts. That is on partial or probable certainty. So, understanding, we try to, of course, understand and use these expressions correctly because it helps you to show your ability to reason thoughtfully and present balanced arguments. On standardized tests like IELTS and TOEFL, this kind of language demonstrates an ability to use English in a sophisticated and academically appropriate way because examiners look for candidates who can analyze situations critically and avoid absolutely language when it's not just, justified. That's why mastering these terms is a powerful strategy for improving your scores, especially in when we talk about IELTS and TOEFL exams. All right? First term we have here is in all likelihood. Again, first term is in all likelihood, meaning most probably true. So, in all likelihood, it is a formal expression used when you want to express a strong prediction or reasonable conclusion based on what you know, while it stops short for making of making a 100% claim. It strongly suggests that you are quite confident about the situation. For example, if someone usually arrives to work on time and today they are late, you might say, in all likelihood, they were delayed by traffic. You are not absolutely sure, but the conclusion is logical and supported by the context. This phrase shows analytical thinking. You have considered facts or previous experiences and reached a high probability assumption. This kind of thinking is critical in academic writing and speaking, especially in tasks where you are asked to predict, interpret, or argue a point. All right? Okay. So this phrase, it is not only accurate but also very exam appropriate. Okay. All right. Here we'll look at its pronunciation. We start with in, which has a short e vowel sound and a nasal sound at the end, or the letter n sound, followed by all. Again, all. Now all. This is the long o sound. Your mouth should be more open and your lips are slightly rounded. All. Again, all. Next to that is like. This is the stressed syllable. Now, there's a clear I diphthong sound here, right? So the diphthong sound is I in like. Sorry for that. All right, continuing. In all like, third syllable is like, which is a stressed syllable. Following that is li, which has a short e vowel sound, and then hood. Hood. So you keep your lips round at the end. That is on hood. There's a short o vowel sound in there. All in all, um, when we try to put them together or combine them together, we get in all likelihood. Again, in all likelihood. All right. That is the first term. Next to that is highly probable, meaning very likely. So highly probable means that there is a very strong chance something will happen or be proven true. It is commonly used in both spoken and written English to communicate that you are almost sure of something based on evidence, logic, or strong intuition. This phrase is particularly popular in scientific and academic writing where it is necessary to make confident claims without presenting them as absolute facts. It is less emotional and more technical or reasonable in tone, which makes it useful in formal situations. In IELTS and TOEFL, Using highly probable shows that you can analyze data, you can interpret trends, or express conclusions based on cause effect logic. This is especially useful in those exams. All right. So mastering such expressions allows students to give more sophisticated responses that go beyond basic vocabulary and simple sentence structure. That is on the second word for partial or probable certainty. When it comes to pronunciation, highly probable. We start with highly, which has two syllables, starting with high, which has a clear I diphthong sound, and then li, short e vowel sound. Then next word is probable, probable. There are three syllables all in all, starting with pro, which has a consonant blend in there. It starts with a consonant cluster sound, which is br. And then not br, but per. Again, per. So we pair them with a vowel sound o and pro. Yeah, pro. Pro. All right. Sorry for that. We are going to continue. First syllable is pro. Again, pro. It has a short o vowel sound. Following that is ba, ba, which has a schwa sound. We are familiar with the schwa sound, right? So that is soft. So that this part is soft, as well as the last part ball, which is we are familiar with that already. The final syllables shouldn't be emphasized too much. So we try to say them all together. We get highly probable with a rising tone on the first and third syllables. So practice speaking it smoothly and confidently. All right. So this is again highly probable. Third term is strong possibility, meaning a high chance something is true. That is a strong possibility. So strong possibility, that term, it is a versatile expression to indicate that something may very well happen, though we can't be completely certain still. It is a way to show confidence without commitment. You can think of something, you think something is likely, but you are open to other possibilities. This expression is often used in both personal and academic settings when you want to give a balanced opinion or predict an outcome based on what you know. It sounds slightly less certain than highly probable, but still expresses that the event or situation is quite likely. All right. For IELTS and TOEFL, of course, students, this phrase is very practical. It can help you provide careful analysis during speaking and writing tasks. All right. Say, for example, for instance, in IELTS speaking, if you are asked about future technology, you could say there is a strong possibility that artificial intelligence will replace many jobs. This shows that you understand the topic and reason logically and use appropriate academic vocabulary. It's also great in TOEFL writing when you want to express a prediction or inference, or not interference, but inference based on a lecture or passage that is on strong possibility. All right. When it comes to pronunciation, we start with strong, which is a one-syllabic word. So it starts with a consonant cluster of the individual sounds of consonants S, T, and R. So we blend those sounds together. Then we get not get, but it is then followed by how do you call that? It is then followed by a short O vowel sound, and lastly an NG sound or a nasal sound. So this is strong. Following that is possibility, which has 5 syllables, starting with pause, which has a short O vowel sound, and then a schwa sound, and bill, which has a short E vowel sound, and T, still with a short E vowel sound. So we try to practicing it like strong possibility, stressed on bill. Okay, strong possibility. You are stressing strong and bill here while keeping the rest smooth and flowing. So strong possibility. Next is reasonable to assume. Again, reasonable. Reasonable to assume. Again, reasonable to assume. Assume. Meaning logical to believe. So reasonable to assume is an expression that reflects rational thinking and balanced judgment. It's often used when there is enough evidence or common sense to support a conclusion, even if we don't have final proof. This phrase it is really useful when you want to sound logical and cautious, especially in academic or professional communication. It indicates that your statement is not wild or emotional. It is based on facts, it is based on experience, it is based on logical deduction. All right? In IELTS or TOEFL, this expression is perfect for forming strong yet careful arguments. For example, in IELTS writing, you could write, it is reasonable to assume that increased investment in education leads to better and national outcomes. Okay? This shows that you're not making blind claims if you are using logic and structure in your argument. So, we do that. In TOEFL tasks, it can help you state interpretations after reading a passage or listening to a lecture. It's one of those phrases that shows academic maturity, helping you sound more persuasive, more, without being overly certain. All right? That is unreasonable to assume. Reasonable, not reasonable. Reasonable to assume. Okay? All right. When it comes to pronunciation, we start with re, which has a short e vowel sound, and then zun, zun. So there's a buzzing sound in there, although it's even though the spelling is letter S. So the letter S sound here, the letter S spelling here, it should be pronounced as a buzzing sound, okay? And then followed by a sha sound and then n. That's on the second syllable, zun. Following this is a schwa sound only, and then will. Okay, we're familiar with that already. Again, this is reasonable. Again, reasonable. Then following that is to, which is a short over to. Reasonable to. So that's a little bit longer. The vowel is a little bit longer. We try to hold them a little bit longer when we try to pronounce them. So that's to. Following that is another word, assume. Again, assume. So it starts with a schwa sound, and then followed by ju, assume. Yeah, ju. Again, ju, assume, zoom, zoom. Sorry, zoom. It's zoom with a J sound, zoom. It rhymes with zoom, but it's more of like zoom. Okay? All right. So all in all, we try to put them together. We get reasonable to assume. Focus on free and zoom. Make sure assume has a smooth but rising tone on the second syllable. Zoom. Reasonable to assume. Next word or next term is presumable. Again, presumable. So it means likely based on available facts. Now, presumable is an academic sounding word that suggests that something is probably true even if it hasn't been proven yet. It is based on what seems logical or supported by existing knowledge. This word is often used in research, in reports, and formal writing, especially when the writer wants to express an educated guess while keeping a cautious tone. It sounds more reserved and speculative compared to other terms like highly probable. For IELTS and TOEFL test takers, presumable is a high-level vocabulary word that can elevate your score. If used correctly, for instance, in IELTS writing, you could say the presumable cause of the decline is lack of government funding. This shows strong vocabulary use, careful language, as well as balanced view. In TOEFL, this term is great for explaining theories or assumptions presented in reading or listening tasks. It helps to show intellectual modesty. You're confident in your interpretation, but you are not overstating the facts. Okay? All right. That is unpresumable. Pronunciation wise, Presumable. There are 4 syllables all in all, starting with pre, which has a short e vowel sound and a consonant cluster per. So that is pre. Following this is the stressed syllable ju. Again, ju. So there's a buzzing sound in there. Ju. We held them a little bit longer and say it a little bit louder. Now the second syllable has a long o vowel sound, so we say it as ju. Again, ju. Next to that is ma, with a schwa sound. We're familiar with that. It's light, it's soft, and it's stressed, and it ends with bo, with which we also be which also be very familiar, light and brief. All in all, we try to combine them together. We get presumable. Again, presumable. So the words are the terms, and their partial or probable certainty are in all likelihood, highly probable, strong possibility, reasonable to assume, and presumable. So that's the second set of words. For a moment, let me, hydrate myself because my throat is really starting to get dry. Let me drink water, some water first. All right. Thank you. Okay. Hydrated already. So let's continue. Of course, after discussing the terms, the second set of terms, it's good to have it practiced. Let's have a practice drill. Same as earlier, same pattern, same process. I just want you to read the whole sentence with me. All right? Okay. Let's start. In all likelihood, the project will be delayed due to funding issues. So, that is it. Next. It is highly probable that the species will face extinction without intervention. There is a strong possibility that demand will outpace supply. It is reasonable to assume that the data reflects current trends. And lastly, the cause of the malfunction is presumable based on prior cases. All right? Okay. And then let's move on to the last set of phrase that we will be talking about, which is the third set of phrase for expressing certainty, doubt, and speculation. And this is specifically under doubt and skepticism. So these are the final set of terms that we will be discussing for today, as this is the first half. There are just a quick note, there are 6 tables all in all. I guess 6. Yeah, there are 6 tables all in all. So we will be focusing the first 3 for today's session. I've already mentioned it earlier when I'm introducing the topic. Okay? All right. So yes, we are going to focus on doubt and skepticism. Now, what does doubt and skepticism mean? In English communication, particularly in academic, critical, and evaluative settings, it is essential to know how to express uncertainty, question assumptions, and analyze claims carefully. That's where the concepts of doubt and skepticism become highly relevant. We understand that doubt refers to a feeling of uncertainty or lack of conviction about something, right? When you doubt something, you are not fully convinced that it is true, it is correct, or reliable. Now, skepticism, on the other hand, it is a more deliberate and intellectual approach. It means you question the truth or value of a claim, especially if it lacks sufficient evidence or seem biased. Skepticism doesn't mean being negative or cynical. It means being careful and demanding reasonable proof before accepting something. Okay? All right. So these 2 concepts are especially important in academic writing, debates, and formal discussions. If you can express doubt in a respectful, well-worded, and logical way, it shows maturity in throughout language use. All right. Let's start with ambiguous. Again, ambiguous. Meaning open to multiple interpretations. So ambiguous, it is a descriptive word used when something is not clearly defined or explained, which allows for more than one possible understanding. So this is common in language, this is common in arguments, maybe in visuals also, or situations that can be interpreted in different ways. So say for example, if a teacher says you may leave after the test, it's ambiguous. Did they mean immediately after or only after everyone it finishes? The lack of clarity creates confusion, and this word is extremely valuable in critical thinking. It promotes prompts learners to consider that not all messages or claims are straightforward or reliable. All right. For IELTS and TOEFL, recognizing ambiguity in reading passages or listening clips allows students to answer comprehension questions more accurately. In writing or speaking, how do you call that? Okay. Continuing in IELTS and TOEFL, ambiguous. Maybe recognizing ambiguity in reading passages or listening clips allows students to answer comprehension questions more accurately because in writing or speaking, discussing ambiguity demonstrates the ability to analyze our ability to critique and weigh multiple perspectives, which is highly rewarded in both exams. It shows you understand that language can be nuanced and that you are not accepting everything at face value, a skill examiners value highly. All right? Okay. So that's the first term, ambiguous. Now, when it comes to pronunciation, we start with which has a short a vowel sound, then followed by big, which has also a short vowel sound, but here it's a short e vowel sound, and then u, ambigu. Yeah. Third syllable is u. Very simple. It sounds like you. So u, ambigu. So there's also a short o vowel sound in here. A smooth transition from the previous syllable. And it ends with s. S. Again, s. Soft and quick. All in all, we try to put them together, we get ambiguous. Again, ambiguous. Alright. Let the sound slide smoothly, but don't rush the ending. Because the stress syllable here is big. Okay, so we say it is ambiguous. Again, ambiguous. Next is disputable, meaning can be argued or questioned. So disputable refers to any idea, to any claim or fact that is not universally accepted and can be openly challenged or debated. So it is especially useful in academic and formal discussions where evidence and counter arguments are really important. Say for instance, if someone says technology always improve education, you might respond, that's disputable, suggesting that the claim isn't absolutely true in every case. So this word reflects critical thinking and intellectual engagement, but both crucial skills for academic communication, of course. For after exams, try to use the word after exam, not after, but in IELTS and TOEFL exams, if using the word disputable shows that you're aware of complexity and disagreement in issues, which is a sign of high-level thinking. In writing, it helps you structure more nuanced arguments and consider opposing viewpoints. In speaking, it shows you are not afraid to acknowledge different perspectives, or a skill that boosts your fluency and coherence scores. Okay? When it comes to pronunciation, disputable has 4 syllables starting with D. D. This, which has a short E vowel sound. It's quick and soft. And then next to that is pew, which is the stressed part. We hold the we hold the vowel sound oo a little bit longer, so it's a long vowel sound here. Pew. Next to that is t, which has a schwa sound. And then ball, we're familiar with that already. All in all, we get this disputable. Again, disputable. with clear stress on spew or pew. You avoid swallowing the end. Okay? All right. Next to this, sorry for a moment. Next to this is suspect. Very simple word. I think everybody is familiar with this. Suspect. And not suspect because that's a noun, but it's suspect. The stress is on the second syllable. So let me correct myself. It's the verb form of this word. So suspect. So suspect means doubtful or unreliable. It can be used as both a verb and an adjective, but here we focus on its adjective use. Oh, really? Yeah, suspect. Anyway, where am I? Well, anyway, it can be used as either of the part of speeches, meaning something that seems, we try to seem it untrustworthy, uncertain, or possibly wrong. If someone gives a strange excuse for being late, you might say, you might, how to call that? You might not really say, but, where am I? Suspect. So, in IELTS and TOEFL, again, in IELTS and TOEFL exam, being able to describe things or as doubtful or questionable is key when analyzing arguments or identifying weak evidence. It also helps in making informed judgments, in showing that you can think critically and aren't blindly accepting information. So this can strengthen your performance in writing essays or giving speaking responses where how they call it, where interpretation is necessary. Okay? All right. When it comes to pronunciation, suspect. Now it starts, there are only two syllables starting with sus, which has a soft vowel sound in the middle, which is before and after it has a hazing sound or the letter S sound. So this part is our stressed syllable, sus. Then pecked. Again, pecked. It sounds like pecked and respect. So you say it firmly. There's a short e vowel sound in there and a consonant cluster of the sounds K and T. So say the T clearly. There's a hard T in it. Okay? So suspect. Again, suspect. Next term is discredit. Again, discredit. This means to cast doubt on someone's idea or claim. That's discredit. It is a powerful verb used to challenge or damage the reputation or truth of a claim of a person or source. So if new evidence proves an old study was biased, we say it discredits the original findings. This term is really commonly used in academic debates, in journalism, and legal contexts where credibility and truth are central. It implies a formal process of proving that something is not reliable or worthy of trust. So for exam takers, using this word show your ability to evaluate information critically, especially when discussing controversial issues or unreliable evidences. All right? It also reflects a strong academic vocabulary. Alright, when it comes to pronunciation, we have three syllables for this. Discredit, starting with this, which has a short E vowel sound. Then cred, short E vowel sound. And this is a stressed syllable. Then followed by it, which has a short E vowel sound. Okay, let's try to keep it out. So all in all, we try to put them together and say discredit, focusing clearly on cred. So that's the stressed syllable. Discredit. All right? Discredit. Okay. And lastly, the last word or the last term for today is controversial. Again, controversial, meaning likely to prove disagreement. So controversial refers to anything, may it be topic, may it be issue or opinion. Those things that trigger strong disagreement or mixed reaction. So think of debates about climate change, about censorship, or political policies. These are controversial because people have very different beliefs about them. The word carries a tone of tension or debate and is frequently used in media, in essays, and formal discussion. So on IELTS and TOEFL exams, discussing controversial issues show intellectual development and depth of thought. Whether you support or oppose a controversial topic, your ability to explain your position calmly and logically helps demonstrate a higher command of academic language. All right? Okay. Pronunciation wise, controversial. There's 4 syllables all in all, starting with con. We're very familiar with that, right? This use a short O vowel sound. It is unstressed. Also, next is which has a stress sound and a consonant cluster in the beginning. Consonants, the individual sounds of consonants T and R are blended together. Then following is v, not va, but v, short e vowel sound. And lastly, shall, again, shall. So it starts with an sh sound or sh sound. Okay, it's soft and quick. All in all, we try to put them together. We say it as controversial. We stress on ver, the third syllable. Avoid saying controversial with equal stress on every syllable. That's unnatural. Controversial. So we say it as controversial. Okay, controversial. And I think that's the last word. Yes. So it's the last word for doubt and skepticism. Of course, same as earlier, it's time to practice. We will have a short and quick practice drill. Let's start. The results are ambiguous and require further clarification. The theory remains disputable among scientists. His motives are suspect given the timing of the announcement. One piece of evidence could discredit the entire argument. The topic of genetic modification remains controversial in public debate. And that is on the last term for today's session. So far, everyone, we've tapped into 3 areas, 3 different contexts for expressing certainty, doubt, and speculation. We started with strong certainty, which has where the terms included are irrefutable, definitive, and unassailable, beyond doubt, and unquestionable. Then we follow it by partial or probable certainty, which includes terms in all likelihood, highly probable, strong possibility, reasonable to assume, presumable, and lastly, the last set of terms are on doubt and skepticism, under which are ambiguous, disputable, suspect, discredit, controversial. We end with the word controversial. Okay? So, that is on the first 3 sets for this particular topic on expressing certainty, doubt, and speculation. All right. Great work today, everyone. That wraps up the first half of our lesson on certainty, doubt, and speculation. So far, we've looked at vocabulary that expresses strong belief and clear rejection, which are essential tools when making arguments or challenging ideas in academic writing and speaking. All right. So in our next session, everyone, in our next session, we will continue with other 3 remaining sets of terms. Now, let's try to see what are those terms for a moment. Terms under speculation and hypotheticals, high doubt or rejection, and academic certainty and analysis verbs. So we are going to focus on those 3 remaining set of terms Words, these are words or terms or phrases that will help you talk about possibilities, like, uncertain outcomes or theories, which are just as important in analytical communication. Okay? All right. So that is on, what do you call it? That is on expressing certainty, doubt, and speculation. Please review the vocabulary and practice using it in your own sentences so you are ready to build on it tomorrow. Okay? See you then, everyone. And have a great rest of the night ahead. Goodbye and good night.